Hi students, welcome to today's lesson on isotopes. For today's lesson, we will learn what are isotopes, the chemical properties of isotopes, and the physical properties. Before we go into the lesson, I am going to introduce a little friend to you. This is Minnie. This is Minnie when she discovered her love for sunflower seeds. This is Minnie undergoing an intensive hamster wheel slimming session. Despite the different masses of Minnie, we can still tell that she is Minnie based on her snow-white fur with a faint grey stripe down the middle of her body. Like Minnie, atoms of the same element may also have different masses. These are carbon 12, 13, and 14 atoms. The relative masses of carbon 12, 13, and 14 are 12, 13, and 14 respectively. How many protons do these carbon atoms have? Pause here to write down your answers on your worksheet. From the pictures of the atoms, we can see that all the carbon atoms have 6 protons. Therefore, despite the different mass numbers, they are all the same element, carbon. This is similar to our friend Minnie. Whether she is chubby or skinny, she is still Minnie. Remember that the mass number is equal to the number of protons plus number of neutrons. The reason why these carbon atoms have different mass numbers is that they have different number of neutrons. Now, let's look at the number of neutrons. How many neutrons do these carbon atoms have? Pause here to write down your answers on your worksheet. For carbon 12, we can see from the picture that there are 6 neutrons. How about carbon 13? We can see that there are 7 neutrons. And carbon 14 has 8 neutrons. We call these carbon atoms isotopes. Isotopes are atoms of the same element with the same number of protons but different number of neutrons. How about the electrons? Can you predict the number of electrons each of these isotopes have? Remember that atoms are electrically neutral. This means that the number of protons is equal to the number of electrons. Therefore, they all have the same number of electrons, 6 of them. We have learned that isotopes have different masses. How do you think the chemical and physical properties will be affected? Chemical properties are affected by the number of valence electrons. Since you have just learned how to draw the electronic structure of an atom, let's practice drawing the electronic structures of carbons 12, 13, and 14. Pause the video here to draw the electronic structures. What can you conclude about the electronic structure of the carbon atoms? Observe that they all have the same number of valence electrons. The chemical properties of an element are dependent on the number of valence electrons. Since carbons 12, 13, and 14 all have the same number of valence electrons, they have similar chemical properties. How about the physical properties? Let us watch a demonstration to help us understand. I have a block of ice. I have another block of ice where the hydrogen atoms of water are replaced by a heavier isotope of hydrogen. Now, what do you think will happen when I drop each block of ice in water? As you have seen from the video, the ice containing hydrogen floats on water, while the ice containing the heavier isotope of hydrogen sinks. What can you infer about their densities? The ice that floats on water is less dense, while the ice that contains the heavier isotope of hydrogen is denser. So, The physical properties like density, boiling point, and melting point are all affected by mass. Therefore, isotopes have different physical properties. In today's lesson, you have learned that isotopes are atoms of the same element with the same number of protons but different number of neutrons. Isotopes have similar chemical properties but different physical properties. That is all for today's lesson. Stay tuned for the next lesson where you will be learning about the uses of isotopes. Thank you.